Hello and welcome to another episode of Laptop Retrospective, and today I'm here to give you an update on this Coolpo 4K panoramic camera. So there are three things that I want to share with you today. The first is, if in the earlier video, which I will link up there, if you were concerned about the cable length, and I know that there were a couple of you that were, in that video I mentioned that this is a standard cable, and I was a bit curious if a longer cable would work. And Coolpo agreed. So they sent me this, a considerably longer cable, and I'm happy to report that it works perfectly. The one note that I will make is that you do want to be aware of cable thickness, just so you have enough clearance on the bottom of the unit. As you can see, the port is there, and this is the cable clearance that you have in the bottom of the device. So just keep that in mind, that you don't want too much bulk down there. The second thing I'm going to share with you throughout the video is the software update package has been released for this, so you can now update the firmware and use a suite of options that now come with the camera. The last thing that I'll mention before I let you go is that if you are looking to save a little bit of money on these, because it is, it's expensive, like, let's be real, then I will be leaving a discount code in the description down below, which I believe will get you 15% off. And just in complete transparency, if you do order through that link or use that code, a small portion of that will come back to the channel. So just being 100% transparent on that. Coolpo is not paying me to make the video. They did provide this. Without further ado, let me show you the software package. So today, we're going to actually talk about what's down below, and I don't mean the bar, I mean what's beneath that, and that is, of course, the software pack that has been released for it. Now, before I can use the software pack, I do have to update the software on the camera, so we are going to go ahead and do that now. So if we tap the device upgrade button here, it will then prompt us to hit the power button on the front of the device 6 times, and that puts it into update mode. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that we have everything set up, we have a few different options that we can mess around with. The first is what's called picture customization. So currently, rather than it deciding where I want the frame to be, I have locked it so it does not move from this spot. And this could be handy if you have perhaps distractions in the environment, or you just don't want it to be resizing all the time, and you want it to essentially work like a traditional camera, then this is one feature that you can do that with. I will say that it is very sensitive when it comes to configuring it. So you don't need to move it much to get this to move around. So the sensitivity, I think, in my mind, needs just a tiny bit of work. Maybe if they allowed for you to use the arrow keys on your keyboard as well for those finer adjustments, I think it would work a lot better. You can zoom in and out as to a certain degree before you have a degradation in quality, which is great. And then if you don't want it, you just click the lock in the bottom right-hand corner, and it will automatically unsnap and continue to do what it always does. The next function that we have is the block the screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove all blocks. And what this allows you to do is essentially scrub around your 360 image and block certain things that you want it to do. So what I've done here is I've used the block feature. So the camera is essentially locked more or less to a specific area that it's allowed to move. The one thing that I will tell you is that obviously if you have the 360 panoramic beneath, that's still going to work, and that's still going to do its thing and show the whole area. So if you don't want that to happen, you need to make sure that that's actually disabled, and it's only accessing the areas that have not been blocked off. So as you can see, I've allowed this section to occur, but everything else has been more or less blocked off. I might tighten up this side just a little bit, but you need to leave enough that it'll still give a 16:9 shot, because if you don't, then it has to do something. It's not going to put black boxes around, which is a relief, Oh, by the way, I can remove the 360 panoramic at the bottom, so if I don't want to see the entire room, we don't have to. And then of course I can decide how many slots I want, and if I set it to automatic, then it will obviously look and do what it's always done. The one thing that I will say is that the software is still pretty new, and I think as time goes on, it will get easier to use, more intuitive, and just provide a better user experience. In the meantime, I think that I would probably continue to run the camera in its auto mode because I think that does pretty much everything that I would want it to do. If you do have any questions about this camera and how it functions in the software, as always, leave some comments in the comment section down below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you found this informative. I will let you know if there are any further updates to the software package. I know one thing that I would like to see personally is not only the option to blot out certain areas of the camera, but I would like to highlight them as well. So if there was something in the room like a whiteboard or a television or a projector, and I wanted to make sure that it was one of the breakout boxes, I think a way of highlighting that would be excellent. So hopefully Coolpo hears me on that one and they'll add it for everyone. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you do, I will encourage you to do the big four. Please like the video, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, so if I get the opportunity to feature a camera like this again, or perhaps something else from Coolpo, you'll be the first to know about it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.